Hi guys, welcome back. It's Mark with Texas Performance Motorcycles, and we're back for this week's tech tips on Torque Performance Television. We're going to go over just some basics about how to clean your chain, some of the tools and products we use, and some of the reasons you might want to upgrade your bike to a chain drive. So here's the basics of what we use to clean a chain. I use we use three components here. We use a brake clean, which is what we get our initial clean with. We have a brush, a chain brush. These are great for getting dirt and gunk out. Then we have a specialty chain cleaner that's designed to not harm the O-rings. And then finally our chain lube. Hey guys, it's Mark from Texas Performance Motorcycles again with this week's tech tip on Torque Performance Television. We're gonna go over a couple different ways you can combine two wires together to make a joint. Some pros and cons of every way. And what you're going to be looking at, what the different uses are going to be. These are just some of the basic tools for the three major ways we're going to go over. So the first major way we're going to cover is a butt connector. So this guy is typically not something you're going to want to use if you're in a shop setting. This is more of a on the road, side of the road repair to get you back to a shop to do it correctly. The next step up from that are these new heat shrink solder joints. So these are not quite as good as a normal heat shrink, but they do heat up. You can use a lighter or a heat gun to go ahead and activate the heat shrink, and then it has a little amount of solder in there that's going to provide an actual physical bond, and then it also seals it too. So these little red portions right here do provide some weather-tight sealing. And then our favorite way, the way that we prefer to do it if we're in a shop setting to combine two wires, is to do an actual solder joint. And then beyond the solder joint, there's two ways to cover it. So you have a standard heat shrink like this one that will show you that, and then we'll also show you a sealed heat shrink too that provides just that little bit of extra weather resistance going down the road. But we're gonna go ahead and dig in and show you how we like to combine all these, how you do each of them, and what they all look like when they're done correctly. All right, so we're gonna start with the butt connector. The first thing you're gonna wanna do is take your wires and strip off just a little bit of the sheathing to go ahead and shove in that connector. So we're going to take our yellow and our orange wire. We're just using different colors so that it's a little easier to tell. There are two separate wires being combined in there. And this is a manual stripper. So this has all the different sizes on here from 20 up to 10. They make some that go all the way down to 24, 26, depending on what wires you're doing, and even larger if you're doing spark plugs and things like that. But once you have some wire exposed and stripped, you're going to insert the wire into this butt connector. If you have to twist it a little bit, go ahead and twist it. You're going to shove it in, and then we're going to take these guys, which are our crimpers. There's two little notches in there. There's an insulated and a non-insulated. And since this has plastic on it, this is an insulated one. We're going to take our insulated side, and we're going to go ahead and crimp them nice and hard. You want to give them a good squeeze. You want them to physically grab that wire. And you always want to go ahead and pull it and test it. The reason we're not a huge fan of these for long term is because these wires can pop out during vibration going down the road, but on the side of the road, it's a great thing. We like these ones that are a little bit taller. It's got a longer handle, provides a little bit better than say like these ones that have the same, they have strippers. The nice thing is these have strippers and crimpers built in, but the handles aren't quite as long, so you can't get as much leverage on there when you're crimping the wire. But then you're gonna take your other side and jam it in. And then we'll use these ones on this side. We're gonna crimp it on the insulated side again. And again, you're just gonna wanna squeeze it until you get a nice firm squeeze. It's kind of a feel thing. You don't wanna pinch all the way through. And that one honestly didn't feel like it stuck that well. It's still, yeah, see, again, that's why you don't wanna really do these. That pulled right out. So if this was, going down the road, we'd have to, put another one on here. We can go ahead and throw another one on just to kind of show you what that's gonna look like. But again, you're gonna want these guys to use this longer one at this point because it provides a little bit better of a crimp. Gets it on there nice and tight, and this one doesn't stop all the way either. So this way it won't pull out. But these, again, fantastic for roadside. Fantastic to get you back on the road if you're obviously stuck somewhere, but not how you want to do it if you're in a shop situation. They provide a lot of bulk. There's zero weather stripping in there, so water, corrosion, everything get right down in there. Not really a professional way to combine two wires, but fantastic to get you on the road to get you your next stop. All right, so the next way we're gonna go over is this new heat shrink that has come out recently that's come to our attention. It has a little bit of solder already in there. And we're gonna show you how to strip these wires with an automatic wire stripper. These are only for generic size wires, but you just basically put the wire in, and when you squeeze the handle, it'll automatically strip it. The nice thing is, you know, no matter what size, up to a certain point, these will work. This obviously says 24 to 10 aught wire. But what you're gonna wanna do, basically if you were doing this on the bike, is slide this over one side of your wire and then combine your two wires together, like so. And I always like to physically get them, not just set them on top of each other, but physically interlace them just like you're gonna do a solder. And we'll show you that when we do a physical solder later. And then slide this guy, and you know, you may have to spin a little bit to get this to kind of go over all the wires, but you're gonna wanna get it centered on all the wires like that. And then we're gonna go ahead and shoot this with the heat gun, and you'll kind of see what that looks like once it melts. So with the heat gun, and you can do this with a lighter, we've done it with a lighter just to make sure for roadside repairs. But with that heat gun, you can see that little bit of solder has melted in there onto the solder joint.
Focus.
And those little bit of red have kind of created a seal. So this has more weather sealing and a little bit better of a bond. Now it's still pretty warm, so it may pull right now, but we'll come back to this once it's fully cooled down, and we'll show you what kind of physical bond that creates.